What's up? It's your boy Luke P. Sanders.
Hey, it's Brenda Sanders.
A brand new episode of Family Talk starts now. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Luke P. Sanders. And I have a special guest, of course, our other host,
Brenda Sanders. Hi, everybody.
And today, you already know by the episode that we're talking about 2013, a very pivotal point in our family, our whole entire family, because it was so public, it was so drawn out, and it just affected us all, not just my immediate family, which is who was affected by it initially, but everybody, because how it went down. So we're both going to be talking through this episode because it affected us both.
It's a big subject for me, so bear with me. 2013, I have I don't even know if I want to call it a nervous breakdown or a mental breakdown, but I didn't know Christians could go through like a mental breakdown like that, because a lot of times people think when you go through a mental breakdown that you're on drugs and alcohol. I've never drunk, I've never done drugs, I've been in church since I was 12 years old. So for me to have a mental breakdown, it was a big deal to me. I don't know. Helicopters flying around my house. I'm like, what in the world is going on?
And before we go any further, the way I want to describe the scene was, if y'all remember Medea, I think it was either Medea Goes to Jail, the movie. Yeah, when she got that girl's car and flipped it upside down and police came to her house, it was literally like that. Light shining from the helicopters, police, SWAT teams down the street. Like, we're not being facetious. We're not making it bigger than what it was. That's literally what it was and how it was, because we had people. Can we tell who was there too? Who was outside?
You can. I don't remember who was outside.
I think it was my uncle and my dad, and they told us what happened. And then when I went out with CPS, I saw what was going on. So it was that drastic, that serious. What happened was they put a restraining order against you with me. So the state put a restraining order on you against me so that she couldn't talk to me, have any communications with me. But yet I was still supposed to show up to court and not say nothing to her. So that was weird. And going back to what happened that night, so it was 10 years ago in 2013. So yeah, that night there were cameras there. So this was on the news. So this was very public. This is why we're sharing, even though it's a hard topic, because we don't want to let the devil hold us hostage to our past. So we thought it was very important to share this. And because it was public, it's time for her not to necessarily clear her name, but to speak her truth and to help other people, because I know there's not other Christians. I know that there are other Christians that have dealt with CPS and things like that and dealt with mental health, but they can't relate to anybody because nobody talks about it. So I'm going to pass the mic back to my mom. We're just going to tag team and go back and forth during this whole episode. So if you hear me one minute, hear her next moment, just bear with us.
I was asking the judge, so how do I get my son back? I didn't know what to do, because I was doing everything they asked me to do, but she said, well, she pointed to this guy. I think his name was...
We can't share names.
Okay, we can't share names. But she pointed to this guy in the court, and she said, get him, whatever you do, talk to him and get it straight with him. And so I went through that with him, and he found me to be a fit parent. And even because you go through the process of it all and all the hurt, and I had to deal with my kids and how they felt. And a lot of times you can go through a whole lot of stuff in your life that you don't deal with. And that's what happened with me. I would help everybody else and try to be there for everybody else. But I didn't take counseling or anything to deal with any of the stuff that I had dealt with from 12. Like I said, when I was 12, and I was... Oh, gosh.
10 years ago. So you want to share your age?
Yeah, that's fine.
44.
I was 44 when that happened. And they said it normally don't happen at that age. So I didn't know that anything like that was going to happen. So now things have changed. But for that part of my life, it was so hurting to me. I'm just going to lay it all the way out there. Christians are the worst kind of people when it comes to stuff like that, because they get a story and they run with it and they don't even know the depths of it. They don't even come to you to find out what's going on. They just start gossiping and running your name down and running your character down. And, that's just people. But you would not expect it from Christians, but they do it even more so sometimes.
I had to go to school, and they was asking me what happened, because I was out of school for a second, and then they was like, I don't know how, I was just gone for a minute, and everybody just left me alone somehow. The thing was, I didn't share what happened really with anybody, so I was just holding all this in. until I was 17. Then I got to speak about it with the counselor that I picked, and my mom signed over that I could do that because I was 17, so I couldn't do it on my own. So she signed so I could talk to a counselor. So then I was able to get it out at that point, but I was just holding all this stuff in. Yeah, it's really hard. Check on your kids when they're going through stuff like this because, everybody just expects them just to function and go to school and be normal, but they have so much going on and going through their head. They don't understand what's going on. They're just trying to figure it all out. Everybody's telling them. I was told, don't say nothing against your mother. Let's just keep praying and stuff like that. But nobody was actually dealing with what happened and how I'm feeling. They was just telling me just to shut up and just to keep going. I don't think that's healthy. So I would just say check on your kids when you go through stuff like that because they're the ones who's most affected by it because they don't have the outlet. They can't go live somewhere else. They can't. Everybody's controlling them basically on what they can and can't do. So just check on your kids and make sure that they're okay. And after all this is over, make sure that they get the counseling that they need and the counseling that you need. Because maybe family counseling probably would have been good in our situation.
It would have been.
It might be good in our situation now, but I know it probably would have been definitely good in the situation when it happened, when everything first initially started. But do you want to tell them what happened? Because we kind of just left them in the middle of what everything.
You can start it now. I'll chime in.
So after talking to my mom and she did everything she had to do and I was talking to her and she was doing visits and stuff. At first, it was supervised visits, and then it was regular visits after. So the Lord was just working away to make everything go back to where it was. And then they granted me back to go back with my mom. And at first, that was scary, to be honest, because what happened before, I was kind of a little timid because that was my last experience. So going back, I was a little scared. But I think in the long run, it ended up working out better that I didn't stay with my aunt because I think my mom was meant to raise me, so I thank God for that. And then, they granted access for me to go back. I don't like how they handled it, though, because they were very sneaky about it, because I went to every court case, basically. And then the court case that they told me not to go to, they told me that I'm going back home with my mom, and we discussed different things in different scenarios. So I didn't like how that was handled. And some other stuff that was handled, but I won't speak on because then other people get involved, and then defamation. So I won't speak on every single little thing, but there are some things that could have been handled better and differently. So I'll just leave it there.
I think the hardest part for me was not having my child, not able to talk to my child. That was devastating. Hey, it's Brenda Sanders.
What's up? It's your boy Luke P. Sanders.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, Family Talk. Be sure to follow us at Family Talk Limited Podcast on Facebook.